Prophet ﷺ said something about hardship that I think most Muslims have heard but never fully understood. He said, "How remarkable is the affair of the believer. All of it is good for them. If something good happens, they give thanks, and that is good for them. If something difficult happens, they're patient, and that is good for them." Now, most people hear that and think, okay, easy to say, right? But today I want to go deeper than that, because Islam doesn't just tell you to endure hard times. It gives you a complete understanding of why they happen, what they're doing, and what comes out the other side. Let's get into it. Hard times have a very particular feeling from the inside. It's not just the situation itself, it's the confusion that comes with it. Trying to make sense of what's happening, why things aren't working, why things feel heavier than they should. And quietly, in the background, certain questions start to form. What did I do wrong? Why is this happening to me? Is this a punishment? Is Allah upset with me? Right? A lot of people don't say these things out loud, but they feel them. And that can make the experience even heavier, because now it's not just the hardship itself, it's what you think the hardship means. And it's important to say, having these thoughts, these questions, doesn't make you a bad believer. It makes you human. The real question is, when something difficult happens, how are we supposed to understand it in our relationship with Allah? The first thing Islam clarifies is this: hardship is not punishment. It's not abandonment. The Prophet ﷺ said the greatest reward comes with the greatest trial. When Allah loves a people, He tests them. Whoever accepts it has Allah's pleasure, and whoever is discontent has His displeasure. Now, the people tested most severely in Islamic history were the prophets, the most beloved of creation, tested the hardest. That means the presence of hardship in your life isn't evidence that Allah has somehow turned away from you. It may be the opposite. Now, to understand hardship properly, you need to understand what it actually does, because in Islam, difficulty isn't meaningless. It has effects. The Prophet ﷺ taught that even something as small as a thorn that pricks a believer removes his sins. So hardship isn't just something you go through, it's something that cleans you. And beyond that, it can raise your rank with Allah. There are levels a person reaches, not just through worship, but through what they endure, through patience, through perseverance, through staying connected to Allah when things are difficult. And that's important because it means hardship isn't just subtracting from your life. It can actually be adding something to you. And then there's another layer, okay? Hardship builds things that ease simply can't. It builds tawakkul, real reliance on Allah. It builds patience that isn't theoretical. It builds a kind of dependence on Allah that only forms when you're under pressure. Because when everything's easy, you don't feel that need in the same way. But when things become difficult, the heart learns to turn to Allah differently. So hardship in the Islamic view isn't just something to survive and get through. It's something that can transform you in ways that ease never could. But that's the part that's hardest to actually believe when you're in the middle of it. I mean, just knowing that hardship has a purpose doesn't automatically make it hurt less. And Islam doesn't pretend otherwise. So let me talk about what the Quran and the Prophet ﷺ actually model, because it's not what most people expect. When we look at how the Prophet ﷺ responded to hardship, it gives a very different picture than what most people sometimes imagine. He experienced real loss. He lost his wife Khadija. He lost his uncle Hamza. He lost his children. He lost companions he loved. He lost so much. And he grieved. He wept. He expressed pain. So hardship in his life wasn't something hidden or suppressed. But at the same time, he didn't disconnect from Allah. He turned to Allah constantly in dua. In moments of difficulty, he would speak to Allah, call upon Him, rely upon Him, not suppressing the pain, but directing it. And that's an important distinction, because sabr in the prophetic model isn't just, pretending everything's fine. It's feeling things fully while still continuing obedience, still turning to Allah, still moving forward. He felt it, and he kept going. And that balance between honesty and emotion and steadiness and faith is exactly what Islamic scholarship holds up as the example to follow. There's a powerful shift that happens when you really understand how Islam speaks about patience. The Quran says Allah is with the patient. And when are you being patient? Not after the hardship ends, not once everything's resolved, during it, in the middle of the difficulty itself. And that changes the experience completely. Because now you're not just waiting for relief in order to feel close to Allah. You can be in the middle of confusion, in the middle of pain, in the middle of uncertainty, and still be in a state of closeness to Him. The hardship doesn't block that connection. In a way, it can actually intensify it. And when that idea really settles in you, it changes how you relate to difficulty. You're no longer only asking, when will this end? Right? You start to recognize, where is Allah for me in this moment? And that transforms hardship from something purely negative into something that can carry presence, meaning, and connection even before it's over. So how do you actually carry on with this in real life? First, name it to Allah. Don't suppress what you're feeling. Say it clearly in your dua, right? Ya Allah, this is hard and I need you. That honesty isn't weakness, it's direction. Second, gently shift the question you ask yourself. Instead of only asking, why is this happening, right? Ask, what is this building in me, right? Not in a forced, overly positive way, but through an Islamic lens. Is it patience? Is it reliance? Is it bringing you back to Allah? That question changes how you hold the moment. And third, remember that it's temporary. The Quran says, with hardship comes ease. The Quran says, Inna ma'al usri yusra, right? Indeed, with hardship is ease. And it's mentioned twice in the same surah, twice in a row. That repetition is emphasis. It's a reminder that difficulty isn't endless. It comes with relief attached to it, even if you don't see it yet. And that surah, by the way, was revealed when the Prophet ﷺ was still in Mecca, at the height of the persecution campaigns led by the Quraysh, his own clan, his own extended family. So you carry the hardship honestly, but with the knowledge that it's not permanent. And that combination is what makes sabr something you can actually live with. Nothing that touches a believer is wasted. Not the ease, not the hardship, not the waiting, not the confusion. All of it is building something. And if you're in the middle of something hard right now, you're not abandoned. You're not being punished. You're being shaped. That's what Islam says about hard times. Now, if this helped you see your situation differently, subscribe. And send this to someone who's going through something right now. It might be exactly what they need to hear.